Hey everybody, this is my new video technology learning series. I hope everyone gets a lot of value out of it and enjoy. Today we're going to talk about the Roku. There's built-in TVs that have Roku players, and then there's separate standalone streaming players. But it's important, and I wanted to talk about it because of the fact that over 50% of all of the streaming players in the United States is actually a Roku. And so because of that, there's going to be a lot of different apps that you can use. And more importantly, the cable TV companies that are out there, most of them have an app so that you can turn in your box and use the app instead of your DVR box. And yes, they can still have DVR recordings. You can record what you need through the app. So if you get a Roku player, then a lot of times you can just go ahead and use that. Roku has its own channel, and if you go to the Roku channel, there's a lot of programming that's free. You will have to watch some ads, but I think that's okay. And watching ads for free TV is pretty cool. The other thing is, if you have an Amazon Prime account, I think it's about $100 a year. You can then watch 4K content in that if your player is 4K compatible. Netflix, Hulu. YouTube also has their own TV service as well. A lot of people don't realize that. And so, YouTube, there's regular YouTube, and then there's what's called YouTube TV. And YouTube TV, I think, is around $20 a month. You can certainly use, Hulu, and there's different tiers just like cable TV. But there's a lot of different options that are out there, and I think a lot of people just immediately just go with the cable company and their options. But really, once you have decent high-speed internet throughout the house, and if you don't, I can help you with that, then really you're going to be fine with just having a Roku player and then just selecting what service that you want. Philo is another one. There's multiple different options, and that's what I kind of want to bring awareness to. Is guys, there's just so many options when it comes to Roku. Think of a Roku as a smart device, like your smartphone. You have apps that you can have on that. There's so many different types of apps that you can go ahead and get with the Roku. So the amount of content and the amount of wide variety of content that Roku has, it's just better. And the reason why it's better is because it's affordable. Like, for example, right now at Walmart, you can get a 50-inch 4K with Roku built into the television for $218. And then the 55 inches are around $267. And they were $370 literally 6 months ago. So they are very affordable, and because of that, the masses will definitely flock to it, and that's just going to be what happens. And the market decides. And sure, you can use an Apple TV. Sure, you can use an Amazon Fire Stick, and maybe I'll do some videos of that. But today we're talking about Roku. And so you can change your theme. You can go down here to settings and then change your theme and just browse the different themes. Some of them you have to pay for, but you can just change it to whatever you want. Like if you want to have a spooky forest, if it's that time of the year, you can change it to a spooky setting, and then your theme back behind there will be something different. But Roku is, if you look at this, I have a Sharp TV. You have a Sharp TV. There's different brands that have really just started in with going ahead and accepting the fact that Roku is the winner. And so they're making their TVs with Roku built into the televisions. So you have Philips and Sharp and Hisense and TCL and all these other brands that are just implementing the Roku streaming player inside of the television. Why that's important is because that means more and more people will have the Roku players, which means more and more apps that are available will be available on the Roku versus other streaming players that may not have as widely available apps, especially those like Spectrum or Xfinity, Charter, these cable companies that you can use the app. And there's a live view in the app, and you can go in and You really just have to link your cable TV service to that particular app. But once you do, that's going to be, I think it's going to be really great. I just don't see any other player that's out there that is doing the things that Roku is doing. I started installing these things, believe it or not, back in 2011. So they've really got nearly a 10-year history with being able to create apps and create content, and they're just a leader. They're Netflix. When you go into Netflix and you go into the particular settings in the Netflix, the way that it's laid out is just better than a lot of other streaming players that I've seen. It immediately starts playing, content or whatever it is that's happening. So, even older films, it'll start to play, the preview automatically on its own. Some of the other players do that, but not all of them. And so I just think that that's a really neat thing. And, with Vudu, a lot of people don't realize Vudu is actually Walmart. Walmart owns this company. But what's really cool about Vudu is the fact that there is about 5,000 movies that you can watch anytime you want. They're unedited, and you can watch them anytime you want, and they are free. And free's always good, especially right now when nobody wants to go out and purchase anything. So you just go to the free movie selection, and then you can just go down here and click View All, and then there's going to be a ton of titles there. So the Vudu is really nice. Like I said, there's a digital code that comes with the movies. A lot of people may already know this, and if you do, this is not for you, but it's for people that maybe don't know. So if you go into the free movies and you select, all of them, view all. Let's see here. Bear with me a second. You can see that there is actually 5,381 movies. That's a lot of movies to be able to see. I realize some of these are older, but you have to understand these are free. And yes, you have to watch some ads with them. So if, for example, if I turn on Happy Feed here and I hit watch free, it's going to start with some ads. There's 3 ads that are going to come on. But then after that, you're going to be able to watch an unedited movie, and you can watch it over and over and over again as many times as you want, as long as they've got it on the platform. They've implemented some ads where you can click on it right there, and it's going to be more, obviously they're just trying to drive business their way, but they're wanting you to buy, for example, right there, some Campbell soup. But even with that, you're still being able to watch these movies when you want, at 3 in the morning, at 3 in the afternoon. It really won't matter. And because of that, I think it's a tremendous value. And when you go in and you have movies, you can actually purchase them, and then you can take the actual DVDs, back to McKay's or some other, a pawn shop, or sell them online or whatever, because you will still own them in the app. And these, so unlike streaming services like Netflix, Netflix is going to basically tell you what you're going to be able to watch, and they control the narrative. With this, if you buy a movie, you can go into My Movies, and then whatever is on yours is going to be yours until forever, as long as you have the account. And the account doesn't cost anything per month. I want to stress that. Having a Vudu account doesn't cost any money per month. So literally you could have this as long as you have internet streaming and you have a player. You'll be able to get all these 5,000 movies for free. And then they even have deals inside of it. And so I just haven't seen anything that is just as good as that because of those things. So you can go into deals, and they always have deals that are running. They'll be right here. But some of these deals are really good. I mean, for example, this is Joker movie. Literally came out 6 months ago, and now you can buy it in 4K for $13. So, and there's just all these other different deals that are here. And a lot of times you can go ahead and look at bundles. These are weekly deals. Some of these movies are only $5. And it's just, I just think that it's a really good way to purchase and build your catalog of movies. And by the way, of course, you can watch them on all of your devices. So your iPads, your phones, your tablets, your computers, all of those are available to watch. And there is a limit on how many devices can be watching at the same time, but you can look at that and see. But still, with that kind of value, I just think Vudu alone is really a big player. If you go to Walmart a lot and you go into their electronics section and you just want to look for something that says DVD with digital code, once you have that digital code, you can go ahead and actually just put that code in, and then you own that movie in the digital space. And really the DVD itself you can give to someone as a gift or sell it or whatever you want to do. And I just think having that flexibility, I just think that's better than anything else that I've seen out there. There's certainly tons of other, Apple has their own service, Prime, Amazon Prime has their own service, and you can certainly purchase movies through their app as well. But they don't have the flexibility of being able to go to an actual store, purchase a movie, put the digital code in, and then you have that disc to do with whatever you want. Whether you want to save that for your personal catalog or whether you want to sell it, like I said before, I just think that's just a lot better. And so just having the capability to do that is good. Like I said, the Roku player itself replaces a cable box in most cases. So a lot of times you can go ahead, instead of having a cable box hooked up, really all you'll have to do is just get the streaming app for whoever your provider is. So you can just go right in and click search and then just type in, for example, I'll just do Xfinity because that's local to the Knoxville area. So there's Xfinity, and you can see their service. And you literally just download that, and it's going to ask for your username and password. You'll put that in, and then you are able to just have, I think it's up to 6 different devices. So you can have 6 TVs floating around all at once, and they can all be watching whatever content they want just with the Xfinity app. That does not even include all the other different YouTube and YouTube TV. A lot of people don't also know about the YouTube. YouTube has a lot of deals. For any of you that don't know, YouTube is also Google. So think of YouTube as basically Google TV. And so because of that, if you're a student, you can get a lot of content for like $6.99 a month. I believe you can get all the music that you want to listen to, all the music videos that you want to listen to, and without ads for $6.99 a month. I think that's a tremendous value when you consider you can watch a music video or listen to a piece of music that's searchable on YouTube for $7 a month. So you could literally listen to any song that's out, that's just came out, for $7 a month. So that's a really good service too. And YouTube is Google, and Google really has, in my opinion, they really have just kind of really all encompassed our entire digital experience. I mean, you think about Gmail and the fact that your photos go to the cloud. Yes, other services do that, but they don't encompass it the way that Google does. I mean, when you're talking to somebody about searching for something, you say, "Did you Google it?" Well, that's a thing because, a lot of people don't realize that Alexa, she actually uses Microsoft Bing, which also, by the way, Microsoft came up with that name Bing because it's not Google. Because it's not Google is Bing. And so if you have like a Google Home, for example, I can say, turn off the TV, and then she should shut this.
Sorry, I don't recognize that device.
Right.
Please use your device name.
So you can say, hey Google, turn the TV off.
Sure. Turning off the living room Roku.
So one of the things about having a Google Home or an Echo, I'm not going to say Alexa, but one of the things about having those devices, you have to be very clear with your instructions. Hey Google, turn the TV on.
Okay, turning on the living room Roku.
Thank you, Google.
You got it.
So obviously, you know, when it comes to smart devices, you have to remember that they're not human, so they don't understand the little variances in your voice. And when you say their name, it's like a wake up, and then they are listening at that point for your instruction. And so you have to be very clear and precise. If there's a whole lot of other talking going on at that particular moment, then it may not hear it, and it'll say, I'm sorry, I didn't understand, like she just did. So, like I said, this is kind of just a quick overview of Roku and the reasons why I like it. You know, there's so many different platforms, Disney Plus with Mandalorian and Baby Yoda and that whole thing. You know, I think Disney's doing a good job with their content and being specific to them. But a lot of the programming, you know, you have a choice what you watch. So you don't necessarily have to watch, you know, mainstream television and ABC and CBS. You have all these different choices with Roku, and I also think that that's good because variety matters. It's the spice of life, right? So anyway, if you guys have any questions about the Roku TV, like I said, I've been installing these things since 2011. You know, each one is a little bit different depending on which player that you have, but for the most part, it's laid out just like this. You can move these channels around. So let's say I wanted to move Netflix. You know, I wanted to move Netflix around. I could go ahead and do that. So if I wanted to take Netflix, like right here, I could move that channel, click move channel, and then I can move that to wherever I want it to be, and then it'll be there. And then when I come back, you know, Netflix isn't there and all the other channels just adapted. So you can kind of move these tiles around and customize it to what you want, which I also think is great. So let me know if you have any questions. And another thing I wanted to bring awareness to, you can actually have an app on your phone. So you can pull up the Roku app, and then when you do that, you can click on remote right here. And then look at this, you can have a remote on your phone, and then look, check this out. So imagine that, you can actually control your television with your app on your phone or tablet. So that's a really cool bonus that a lot of other streaming players really don't offer. So pretty cool stuff. I wanted to show you the awesome aquarium screensaver that you get with a Roku as well. I thought that was really neat. Just another thing that you get with Roku. I hope everybody enjoyed today's episode. And if you liked what you've seen, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you're not living your best life, what life are you living? Until next time, guys, thanks a lot.